Hey y'all, Crazy Train here, bringing you a brand new Star Wars Battlefront gameplay video, and I want to do something a little bit special. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really enjoying this game. Now, I know it's got a lot of issues, I know it's got a lot of flaws, and I'm really hoping that EA and DICE are hard at work fixing the problems that it does have, but despite those issues, I'm still really liking this game. And I've been trying to think of some ways that I can challenge myself and get some really fun gameplays for you guys. Now, I don't really want to focus purely on my KD because I think that's more of a Call of Duty type of challenge. With Star Wars Battlefront, there's a lot more focus on completing the objectives and focus on team play, so I want to make sure that I focus on that. But at the same time, I want to have some kind of challenge, so as I was thinking about it, I realized, hey, what about the in-game diorama? Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, a diorama is a miniature model of some kind of story, whether it be a TV show or a movie or a book or a video game. And EA and DICE have incorporated a digital diorama into Star Wars Battlefront, which I think is really cool. As you can see, in order to unlock each of the characters in the diorama, you have to complete specific challenges that EA and DICE have laid out for us. Now, if you've looked at the diorama, you've probably noticed that there are some fairly easy challenges to complete that really only require you spend enough time in the multiplayer mode of Star Wars Battlefront. Then there are some more difficult ones that focus around the battles, the missions, the tutorials, and require that you pretty much complete every possible thing there is to do in those in master difficulty. So those are going to be pretty tough, but I think that they are doable, and I think they're actually going to be pretty fun to try and complete. So I want to share with you guys my breakdown, which challenges I think are pretty easy and which ones are a little bit more difficult. And I'll keep you guys updated on my progress as I play through the game with which ones I may be focusing on, which ones I may be struggling with a little bit or having a challenge with. And you guys can offer me any recommendations or thoughts along the way. I think that would be awesome. Also, if you are working on completing the diorama, let me know. How far are you? Are you struggling with any? And maybe if you're on Xbox One, we can get together and try and complete some of these as a team. I think that would be a lot of fun. So definitely let me know in the comments if you guys are trying to complete the diorama, where you're at, how you're doing, and if you'd like any help. Alright, to get us started, I've already completed 2 of the diorama challenges. The first is the Stormtrooper, which only requires that you achieve rank 10 in multiplayer mode. This one is pretty easy, only requires you spend a couple of hours in the game playing, so pretty much anybody can achieve this one rather quickly, so not too difficult. The other one that I've completed is the Twi'lek Rebel, which requires you play a little bit of the base command mini game in the Star Wars Battlefront companion app. Now, if you don't have the app, it's pretty easy. Just download it to your phone or to your tablet. Jump in. There's a mini game called Base Command. Really simple. You just have to play the first kind of tutorial mission, get 3 stars on it, and you unlock this one. Now, I'll be honest, it actually took me 2 tries. The first time I played through, I only got 2 stars, so I had to go back and play it again to get my 3 stars, but it's really quite easy. Again, anybody can do it, and you can do it rather quickly. Now we'll quickly cover the rest of the easy diorama challenges, starting with Princess Leia, which requires you to achieve rank 50 in multiplayer. This one isn't too bad, it just takes a lot of playtime to get there, and I imagine that you'll probably unlock a whole bunch of the other diorama pieces along the way. Next we have Han Solo, which you get when you earn 1 million score in multiplayer. Then there's the T-47 Airspeeder, which you have to win 10 matches of each of the original Battlefront multiplayer modes to get. So you don't have to play Turning Point to get this one, and whatever additional modes come out with the expansions and the DLCs will probably have their own challenges, maybe their own diorama pieces, but to get the T-47 Airspeeder, you just have to win 10 of each of the original game modes. Next up is the AT-AT, which you have to play 30 matches of Walker Assault. So you don't have to win 30 matches, just play 30 matches. Now, since Walker Assault is probably the longest game mode in the game, it'll take a handful of hours to complete this one. But once again, super easy, just play a lot of the game and you'll get it unlocked. Now the TIE Fighter. To get the TIE Fighter, you have to destroy 150 vehicles in multiplayer. Now luckily this is not just air vehicles. If you destroy AT-ATs or AT-STs, that also counts. So if you're not a big fan of the dogfights in the air, no problem. Just whenever you pick up a smart rocket, make sure you focus on the AT-STs if you're a rebel, take those puppies out. Then there are 2 diorama pieces that require you get 1,500 kills on each side of the force. First is the Magma Trooper, which you have to get 1,500 kills as an Imperial soldier in multiplayer. And then there's the Tatooine Rebel, which requires you to get 1,500 kills as a Rebel soldier in multiplayer. There's also a fun one for people who like to get precision kills. That is the Scout Trooper, which to get that one you have to perform 250 headshot kills in multiplayer. So as you're playing through the game, just aim for their heads. They'll actually die faster. You'll complete this one quickly, and you'll have a sweet KD to show for it. This next one might be a little bit more difficult, especially if you're not a big fan of the spaceship fighting, and that is the Millennium Falcon, which you have to score 100 kills with either the Millennium Falcon and or the Slave One. And since both of these are hero pickup vehicles, it may take a little bit longer than you'd like, but again, spend a lot of time playing and you'll get it. Next up is Darth Vader, which requires you to defeat 250 soldiers while playing as a hero in multiplayer. The easiest game modes to play to get this one are probably Heroes vs. Villains and Hero Hunt, since you spend a lot more time as a hero and a villain in those game modes than any of the other ones. Then we've got the X-Wing, which you just have to pick up and use 200 power-ups in multiplayer. Really easy. Every time you see one of those little glowing discs, run over, grab it, and use whatever it is. Really, really simple. Then there's Boba Fett, which you have to use all star cards and get a kill with every weapon in multiplayer to complete. So as you're doing a lot of these others, you're playing through the game a ton, use the in-game cash that you get to buy all the weapons, buy all the star cards, and use them as you play through, and you'll get this one easy peasy. Last up is Slave One, where you have to ride in a vehicle for a total of 10 hours. And as you're doing that, you'll probably complete some of these others like destroying vehicles and getting all the kills with the Millennium Falcon and Slave One. So if you do those ones really quickly, then just keep playing some of these game modes where you're in vehicles just cruising around, and this one will eventually unlock, especially as you're on your way to rank 50. Now we'll move on to the tougher diorama challenges, starting with Luke Skywalker, where you have to find all the collectibles in the missions. Now this one I guess shouldn't be too bad, since I know there's probably some YouTubers who have found these and have videos that show you where they all are, but it can be difficult if you don't know where they all are and you have to go hunt for some. Then there's the Celestin Rebel, where you have to complete all battle missions on master difficulty while playing against AI. And if you're like me, I'm not that great at the battle missions, so it may require some help from friends, but hopefully with enough people who are good at this game, this one shouldn't be too tough. As well as the ATST, where you have to beat all survival missions on master difficulty. Again, get together with some friends, and that should help this one be a little bit easier to do. Next up is the Shadow Trooper. This one does go back to multiplayer, but the reason I included it in the tougher ones is because you have to reach level 3 at least once on every trait, and to do so means you have to live a long time, get a lot of kills, complete a lot of objectives without dying. Then finally, the toughest nut of them all is Emperor Palpatine. You have to collect every star on every mission in order to complete this one. And that may not sound too difficult until you look and see what's required to get all the stars. To give you an idea, some of them include no deaths on the survival missions. None, and that includes you and your buddies. You cannot have any deaths. So the moment somebody dies on one of those survival missions, you have to start it over. You also have to complete all battles with master difficulty AI enemies, scoring less than 40 points. Again, doesn't sound too difficult until you've played the game and realized how tough that really is. And then of course there's additional challenges and training that at the offset don't seem too difficult, but man, once you get into them, they are not that fun to do. So Emperor Palpatine will definitely be the most difficult one to achieve, probably take the most amount of time, and I'm probably going to save it for last. And if there's anybody out there who has any good recommendations on how to get Emperor Palpatine fairly easily, or who are willing to help me on Xbox One, let me know in the comments. We'll make it happen. Alright guys, so that is the challenge that I have set for myself in Star Wars Battlefront. I'm really excited to do it and share with you my progress as I go through the game. And I'm stoked to hear about how you guys are doing with the diorama. If you're going for it, if you're just sort of letting it happen, and also if you have any recommendations or suggestions on how to complete certain challenges, definitely let me know in the comments. I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and to share it with your friends. And be sure to check out some of my other content. Thanks so much, guys, and remember, you are awesome! Guys, come on, get him! Get him! That dude's like, man, he's getting away from me. Look at that! Look at that! Alright, we got him, we got him, we got him. Okay.